cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful stuff.
It is. It
And
is.
it's
It'll
just a
get you out of.
visualization.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating.
And that's what I use when I'm protecting my home, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can put the white light around the cars that your family and your loved ones drive. You can put the white light around your house and the perimeter of your land if you want to. And just those simple visualizations help so much. And it's like, I kind of see it as, it grows even stronger over time. The more that you do it, it just adds another layer of that protection. And so, you know, that's my go-to practice when I'm getting ready, or just being prepared, continually being prepared for whatever comes my way. And, whatever new case comes along, I always want to be ready and be prepared. So, um, you know, it's a weekly thing for me to try to put the white light perimeter around everyone that I love in my home and myself.
I have had to do that. Well, I was on a public investigation, and one of the guests at that event was a psychic, but she didn't know how to shield. She had just always
Mm,
been a psychic. And I'm like, oh, what? You're safe. And I just covered her, and she was fine. But she could
wow.
still hear what was happening. And like the spirit in that room was asking her to come in there. And she was
Hmm.
like, oh no, he's still talking to me. I was like, what do you do at home? You know? And she's since become a great friend, and I love her just so much. But it was really an interesting moment because I'd never known someone who didn't know to do that,
Yeah.
that was as strong as she is.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so I left the event and took her downstairs and taught her how to shield. And I said, your life is going to be so much better if you do this. And because her daughter was also gifted and was having the same experiences, and neither one of them could block them.
Ah, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been
So,
there.
I know, right? So,
Yeah.
anyway, it was a really neat thing. And I guess it's a good thing that I read so much and that I have this nifty place where I get to talk to people like you who know
Hmm.
so much, right? Because
Yeah.
it's easy to help other people when you have access to so much information.
That is.
And you do that.
Yes.
I love that about you.
Thank you.
Well, you're a great teacher. When we go someplace and when you lecture, you're a great public speaker. You are great at explaining equipment to people. You just do a good job.
Well, thank you.
Well,
But
I have,
there's always so much more to learn, though. I mean,
I know it's
I
fun,
really
isn't it?
feel, yeah, I really feel like, yeah, sure, I've been at this for a decade, but I have more questions than I do answers, and so yeah, there's a ton more for me to learn, and that's
Well,
what I think that's what keeps me interested in this topic, is that there are no clear answers, and there is always another question that comes up that I want to research. So
and they always pop up at the oddest times.
yes, yes,
Like midway through something that you think you know how to do, and all of a sudden it's not quite working right. It's like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, what is blocking this? So,
right. Or when I'm throwing my hands up in the air, like, I feel like I'm just done with all of this stuff and I don't want to do this anymore. Then someone else will come along and there'll be a new question and a new
hmm,
something that gets me drawn back in. And, before I know it, I'm at it 100% again. So,
it's cool how that works.
yeah, I feel like I am doing what I'm supposed to do in my life, and I'm just making peace with it. Because there are times that I get tired and I just need a break. And sometimes people can be so ungrateful and hurtful that
Yes.
it really, it breaks you to that point where you're just ready to walk away. And, But fortunately, I guess, I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And so I have been pulled back in and put back on track, several times through that course of 10 years. So,
For what it counts, I think you're doing what you're supposed to do also,
oh, thank you.
because it flows really well for you. And we're up against a break. This is 3 minutes, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
Welcome back. You are listening to Fate Mag Radio, and I am Kat Hobson, your host. Joined tonight by my friend and colleague, Kim Johnston. Kim has so much experience in the paranormal field. She's written numerous books, one of which was an episode season premiere on Paranormal Witness titled Voodoo Preacher. She is a public speaker extraordinaire. She has all kinds of neat ideas about ways to help our team, and has. And Kim, I'm so glad you're here. This has been a great discussion so far.
I'm happy to be here. I love every opportunity I get to talk about this stuff. It's just so much fun.
I know, and you share it so well. Yeah, you're just like a gifted teacher. It's a good thing. But
thank you.
And I appreciate you sharing about the astral projection, because I find that fascinating. I always have been leery of it, as I said, and it doesn't sound like maybe I should be.
Yeah, don't be leery of it. And, that's not something that I really, in the beginning of, working in this field and doing public, speaking and presentations, I don't normally talk about my out-of-body experiences and how that really is what, put me into this field and into this world of the paranormal because it sounds crazy. And, I felt really self-conscious sharing something so personal that sounds so crazy. But I've recently been talking about it more because more and more people have been coming to me to ask about it because they've had those experiences. They want to know more about it and, understand it better. And I was recently listening to another show where a scientist was on there talking about a study that he did where they discovered that these out-of-body experiences and this sleep paralysis and other things are actually a very common experience across the board. And so I'm not alone. And just knowing that I'm not alone, there's lots of other people out there that have had these experiences. It helps me feel more confident in sharing that information. And, I know I'm not crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but I know I'm not crazy.
I know you're not crazy.
So, but, for the record, I'm a senior software developer. I have this career outside of the world of the paranormal. I have a family, and
Yes.
so, there's nothing really too insane about my life, but, it is a very interesting thing, and I never would have thought I would have that experience or would be talking about those experiences, 10 years ago. So, but I'm happy to be sharing this information with people now.
Well, what is the most asked question that you get when you do presentations?
Where the
Speaking of
Rockford
sharing.
House is.
Really?
Yes, they want to know where the Rockford House is.
I have talked to you, and I've talked to Jenny, and I've read the books, I've heard the information, I've heard the lectures. There's no way in the world I would go to that house. Because that cemetery is across the street.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't really desire to go even in Coosa County, Alabama at all. Because as you know very well, that's not the only case that we've ever handled that was so violent in Coosa County.
right.
You were present for
Yes.
the second case that we handled in Coosa County. That was only 17 miles down the road from the Rockford
I didn't
House.
realize that.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that either until I started doing the research later on, and I realized how close it was. And so, surely those pieces of land where these two extreme hauntings took place, where there was physical harm, that's a shared history. So
And that
whatever
was,
it is.
and that was some serious physical harm.
Yes.
Yes. I just cannot imagine. And the question in chat is bad spirit cluster. I think it's just bad juju on the land.
I'm sorry. What was that question?
Is that a bad spirit cluster? And I think it's just bad juju on the land.
I think so too. I feel like the evil has either been there since the 1830s when the atrocities took place there with the massacres of the Native Americans by Andrew Jackson's men. Either it was a remnant of that taking place, or it was already there and it was just fed by the violence that continued to happen on that land for decades to come, and it's just left a permanent mark there. But that evil is just really, really, really bad. It's really messed up. Yeah, I don't even care to go to Coosa County. If I can avoid it at all, I will.
Yeah. Brenda said, but wouldn't something really awful had to have happened early on to imbue the land with that evil? And it did. I mean, do you want to tell that story?
Sure. Of the Voodoo Preacher? Is that the story we're talking about, or we're going to talk about the
massacre and the Voodoo Preacher if you want to?
Mm-hmm. So
because they're
yeah,
both affect
we'll
that.
just yeah, we'll